Well, hello there. Let's come a little closer. See if that's good enough. Back up a little bit. Okay. Alright, so I'm making Star Wars New Hope panels from the Corvette. They look like this. A little bit of a bevel on them. And they're made out of styrofoam board. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use one sheet of foam core and I'm going to cut them. And here I've got a set measurement for the width. And here I'm just going around making this measurement so that you all can see it. There we go. All the way around. Now I'm going to take a straight edge. I'm going to draw a line. And this is going to give me a crucial measurement. One into the other. This crucial measurement will allow me to cut the corners out to be able to bevel these. So I'm just drawing a line to my preset measurements, and you'll find an intersection start to appear. I'm going to use that intersection in just a moment. Here we go. There's one. Now it'll come out. So I've already done a few, so I have these corners cut out. And this is the result. You can see here. I'm just going to go easily. I'll lengthen these in a minute. You'll see what I mean. I'm just pointing them at the very corner here. And this is going to allow these to drop down. You'll see when I cut them. And I'm just pointing them right here at the intersection. Okay, in the corner there. There we go. So now, I'm going to take a straight edge again. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to meet up these corners. I'm going to cut. The first cut is always a score cut. You're not going to cut too deep. But I do want to cut right through so that I can remove that corner, that little notch piece here. So the first cut is just a score, and you go a little deeper until you reach all the way through. And then what happens? This piece comes out. So I'm going to go around and do the whole four sides. See here, they're very delicate. You don't want to be hacking this away, but as I said, this knife blade is new, so it's fairly sharp, although they get dull pretty quickly when you're cutting on wood. I'm cutting on my work surface here. This is an old desk that has seen many jobs and many projects. So I've scored it a few times with utility knives. I should bring out a rubber mat, a cutting mat. I'll have to get myself a big enough one. So as you can see, it's starting to present itself. As any of you who are Star Trek fans, you'll know that the panels on the Corvette are all relatively similar. So now I've got this cut out. So I want this to be the inside. So for that to happen, I have to score on the outside. I'm going to remove this label here. It should come off relatively easily without scoring the paper. There we go. Off. Now to do this one, just going to go from corner to corner on here. And here we go. One end, one bit to another. I'm just going very lightly because I just want to cut that first layer of paper. In this foam board, there are 3 layers. There are 2 layers of paper on the outside, and then there's I guess an 1/8 of an inch or 1/4 of an inch layer of foam sandwiched between two pieces of paper. So what I'm trying to do is just score the outer layer, and you'll see in a minute why I'm doing that. What I'm going to show you here is once I score this, give it a little one more pass. Okay, and I'm going to go on this side. One pass here. Well, up here. There we go. And I'm just hugging that metal side just a bit. All right, there we go. I can get rid of this. Don't need this anymore. Now, what I want to do is I want to bend these. So to hold them in place, I'm going to use some clear tape. Gotta get the end of this clear tape out. I'm gonna cut 4 pieces of this tape. So, and keep it on the side here, so this tape will be very useful. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Yeah, 4 pieces of tape. So here's the magic. Take this, bend it up, take this one, bend it up, and they come together in a corner. Grab a piece of this tape. I'm going to squish it into the corner like that to get as far in as I can, and that's going to hold the corner. Put on this side, do the same thing. Push that in. Here we go. Over here, do the same thing. Bring that up. Grab my tape. Pinch it in there. Here we go. And the final piece of tape. Get in here, pinch it in there. There we go. Okay, so we have Star Wars panel. Now, I like to support the corners a little more, and what I'm going to do is just run a bead of hot glue in it, and I'll know it's more than the tape will be holding that corner together. I'll have this bead of hot glue as well. And we're running a bead here. Now I know that the tape is going to hold the glue from just going directly through onto the table, because that tape has a very high melting point. So now I have corners all set. Just going to get some air into it so that it dries, or not dries, but hardens quickly. All right, so we're good. I think that's it. Now, there's a very specific pattern that's used, and I've got the basic pattern right here. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take pieces of foam board that I've cut off into very specific widths, and I'm going to place them on the panel in the standard format. Now this is the basic format. All of these panels will have essentially that outline. That's the simplest one. Other more complicated ones can be relatively complicated, like this one here has an inset panel that has a few more greavellies to make it look a little more complex. So now I'm just going to glue these with hot glue roughly where I think they should be. I've done this a few times, so I'm comfortable placing this one at least. Now the other four, kind of use one of my other ones as a template to give me the positioning. So here you have the lineup. Lineup looks fairly good. So I'm going to go in here now and put some hot glue on the back of this one. Quite a bit of hot glue on there. And I'm just lining that up a little bit, like right there with those. Now these are good, so I'm going to take the middle one so I know where to position it. That's going to be very helpful, positioning it. So it's going to go right in the middle, right like that. And now that that's set, I'm going to take the other one, put another bead of hot glue here, slather it on. Here we go, there's another one. And then this one, which is the final one for the basic. There we go. Let's position that. There we go. Now I can take any number of options to add to it. And you can see from these ones, I've got one with a bunch of greavellies on it. And this one here has an insulation foam for electrical outlet. This one here has some dots from the inside of that electrical outlet. And this one here just has a circle ring and a dot from the electrical outlet. So I have a number of those. Also, what I've done is I've done the black one as well. This is the black panel. I've had to cut it down. It's a little bit bigger than the original size, so now this one fits with these ones. These panels will go into a display of usually about 4 panels each. Anyway, I'm going to take this downstairs to my theater room, my lounge, and install them, but that'll be another video next time.